Okay, we've got lawyers here tonight, we've got journalists, we've got MPs. We tried to get an estate agent, but... that was a cheap jibe. Our next speaker is one of the great champions of free speech, Dr. Evan Harris, MP.
I'm going to use the rule I always use with my mother. Occasions and times like this, I'm a doctor, not a politician. I'm a Liberal Democrat, so you have to excuse me, this is the biggest crowd that I have. More used to heckles, and I'm sorry I'm late. I was not only negotiating the receipt with the taxi driver for the firm. But the real reason was, and it was apposite to this, that I was in the Science and Technology Select Committee with John Beddington, the Chief Scientific Advisor, and I was asking him about evidence-based science, and in particular, and he was ready for me this time, homeopathy. And I asked him how it was that in a government and a society that allegedly wants to see more evidence-based healthcare and wants to see scientific regulation based on evidence, that the MHRA, who had advertised themselves as fact-based in terms of what they justify, find themselves in the position of issuing the first, essentially, license for homeopathic remedies to make medical claims. It's appalling that Arnica can now have an MHRA stamp saying that it's approved to say that it can be used within the homeopathic tradition for the symptomatic relief of sprains, muscular aches and bruising or swelling after contusions. And that's it's appalling that the organisation, and Sense About Science have campaigned on this for a long time, the organisation that we rely on to have proof of safety and effectiveness of medicines is now doing this. And what was most amusing was the reader's comments on this Pulse magazine article. And the first comment was from a woman called Debbie Brooke, and she says, "Hooray, the age of homeopathy has arrived. The higher vibration of homeopathics resonates with new information and knowledge of quantum physics and the nature of water." So, I asked the Chief Scientific Advisor how he felt being in charge of a system that allowed people like that to triumph, and he did say that he would do something about it when he dealt with swine flu. So, the reason I'm here to support Simon and to encourage you and to thank you for coming is not just because of how I feel about free speech, but also because of the absolute necessity to ensure not only that science is evidence-based and that we don't allow a creeping exploitation of vulnerable consumers by people making claims that are not evidence-based. I mean, if they don't make claims, then you know the middle-class people of anywhere except Oxford, of course, can spend as they wish. But what we need to do is ensure that they are protected from being exploited. And secondly, we need to ensure that there is free scientific discourse, both in peer-reviewed published journals, and we know that there's an increasing chill on them by pharmaceutical companies actually and other companies threatening defamation proceedings, and secondly, of course, in the mainstream media. And I've never had trouble finding rebuttals to Guardian articles in the readers page, letters page, and I don't understand why purveyors of alternative medicine can't use that approach. So it's absolutely critical to the future of both academic discourse and indeed wider discourse that we're able to use strong terms to describe some industries and lobbyists and what they do, whether that's the chiropractors or whether it's the homeopaths or whether it's the heir to the throne. And we should have no compunction in doing any of those. The only one of those I can't mention in Parliament, by the way, is the heir to the throne. It's astonishing. And on the free speech side, I think we are catching a mood. It's the first time since I arrived late that I've not disagreed with anything that Nick Cohen said. Had I been here, I would have agreed with him because there is now a mood. Although the government was defeated by people wanting to see admittance to this country of Joanna Lumley recently, what we have to remember is the first time this government was defeated was on the issue of religious hatred, when it wanted to restrict free speech. And many of the people involved in this campaign, I see Lisa from Penn, and that campaign are here, and it's the same issues, the ability to speak freely. Today in the House of Lords, there's on the Currents and Justice Bill second reading, which will not be reported tomorrow, an amendment is being flagged up to abolish the outrageous laws of criminal defamation and seditious libel, which was an initiative, again, from Index Penn and Article 19. And it's likely that even Jack Straw will probably accept that, because he accepts that it seems wrong that truth is not a defence to those. Even he thought that that was probably going too far. So there is now a mood. There is now a mood to do something about our libel laws, and the combination of the need to have this academic debate in science and the need and the increasing recognition that actually it's a plaintiff's paradise, London, in respect of libel laws. That combination comes together brilliantly, and I'm only sorry that some of you here put Simon Singh up to the job of getting sued. But I'm delighted that it looks like, and we hope he will, fight this, and that we can get a big campaign around this, because we'll have a double victory, a victory for science and a victory for free discourse. And those are two victories definitely worth having.